I'm here to talk to you today about a bit of what we're calling the source of innovation. And that is a partnership between Dell EMC and Red Hat that has come into blossom over the last couple of years. It started over a decade ago, and we'll go through that. But it's been a great journey. And through this journey, we've both innovated ourselves through our own products and our own technologies, but we've also helped our customers innovate with the use of open source technologies. So we're going to go through a bit of an agenda today. The first is to look at that journey between Dell and EMC, where it began, what we committed to and what we've achieved. And then the next is that evolution of our open source cloud platform that we've been deploying in our partnership across Australia and New Zealand and also globally as well. And then finally, how our cloud approach is actually enabling innovation and why that matters. But to kick it off, when I think of Dell EMC and Red Hat, to us and to my colleagues, we think best of breed. We were the first and only solution to automate Ironic, Heat, and OOO together in a single and standardized platform and package. That means that to our customers, they have architectural consistency and simplicity when they're deploying their environments with Dell EMC and Red Hat. Not only that, we're pushing 100% of this partnership upstream, which is great for the open source community, great for the people in the room, and great for us. We've taken this partnership and we've also announced at the start of this year that with Verizon and Big Switch, Dell EMC and Red Hat had the world's largest NFV, Network Function Virtualization deployment, the world's largest. And when we say the world's largest, we're not just talking about a single data center with a lot of smart people coming together to solve a complex problem. We're talking about a distributed problem that existed across 5 globally distributed data centers where there were bottlenecks in the network, where Verizon wanted to build an enterprise scalable cloud that would remove all of the bottlenecks in their data so that their customers and their consumers wouldn't be constricted and restricted on their network. And so across these 5 clouds, these 5 data centers, we partnered together to build this large NFV deployment that removed those bottlenecks for them. Not only that, this year we were the first and only vendor to start the Spec Cloud benchmark. So people may have heard of spec.org. This is where an industry standard for running benchmarks on things like Spec FP, Spec Integer, benchmarking the infrastructure that we're all running today in our data centers. And so through Spec Cloud, we're the first vendor to publish a Spec Cloud benchmark based on our joint engineered solution for Red Hat Enterprise OpenStack. This will help our customers and help you and help the industry as a whole to start to set a benchmark towards measuring the performance and reliability and functionality of cloud computing environments, to help you to understand where you're going to get your best performance, out of what platform, out of what technologies, and what environment. But I said, our partnership may have come into blossom over the last 3 years. However, it started a long time ago. Not only was Dell EMC the first OEM vendor to ship Red Hat Enterprise Linux on a server out of our factory to a customer site, we're also the first OEM vendor to join the OpenStack community and the first OEM vendor to ship an OpenStack platform on our technologies. To us, it's about a commitment to open source, believing in it, believing in the community that's behind the open source community, and then committing to them to actually deliver these products and these engineered solutions through our joint R&D towards the customer site. And now that there's a joined partnership between Dell and Legacy EMC, to come together to create the world's largest enterprise technology vendor, Dell EMC. We now have the broadest range and broadest portfolio to bring together the Dell EMC technologies with our partner Red Hat's technologies to enable higher performing, more scalable Ceph and OpenStack and Gluster and Red Hat Linux solutions right across the world, globally, in different types of customer accounts and different solutions in data centers everywhere. But a couple of things that you probably did not know about Dell EMC. Raise your hand. I might be the only person in the room to raise my hand, but did anybody back in 2012 watch the Mars Curiosity landing up on the Martian surface? All right, there we go. We've got somebody else. We've got more. Yes, okay, don't be embarrassed. Don't be ashamed. It was cool. So I was sitting there and I was watching, but what I didn't realize at the time was that the supercomputer, which was actually powering all of the data analysis and all of the simulation that sent Curiosity to the Martian surface, was actually a Dell EMC PowerEdge platform running Linux as well, which is great. And so this platform, there were these two HPC platforms, high-performance computing supercomputers, running Dell PowerEdge, which was doing all this real-time analysis and then building the models so that Curiosity could make a prediction and make an analysis, and the NASA engineers could decide when they were going to deploy airbags, etc., and start to make a decision based on the velocity and the ascension of Curiosity into the Martian atmosphere. So for us, that was a great project, a great outcome, because it was a great success, and Curiosity is a great success today. And a lot of that was powered on open source technology. But then locally, so this is, high performance computing and this scientific computing driving these innovations is something that Dell EMC is really passionate about, both locally and globally. And in Australia, we've actually partnered with Australian universities to lead the way on open source research clouds which use OpenStack. And through this, when you think of these large, complex, innovative projects such as, sending a probe to the moon or sending Curiosity into Mars, you think that all this infrastructure is spun up for one project, but then it may need to be reused on a different project. So it makes a lot of sense for organizations who are trying to be innovative and trying to be groundbreaking to instead do this on a cloud environment where they can dynamically change the environment once the projects come to completion to take advantage of the infrastructure for the next project. And so partnering with Australian universities, we've built these OpenStack environments with Red Hat. And I'll go through some of those case studies shortly, where we'll go through what the use cases were, what value they're getting, and how we're helping to lead the way and change innovation and deliver some of these innovative and groundbreaking projects for things like big data and data and analytics across Australia. But, why are customers after the Dell EMC and Red Hat OpenStack Cloud, you may ask? And the key is that when we're looking at people, when we're talking to customers who are after large scale-out private cloud infrastructure, there's a couple of key themes that come up. The first is that customers looking to build a private cloud are typically looking for an open environment. Who here has heard the term DevOps? Everybody's heard the term DevOps? Exactly. Taking control of your own infrastructure, making modifications, improvements to the software layer that orchestrates and optimizes your infrastructure, taking more of a development approach towards your environment. By having an open source cloud platform, our customers in Australia have been able to optimize, tune, make modifications to the platform itself that they can then use to enhance their experience, their customers' experience, their end users' experiences. Not only that, because it's open, they can be part of a larger community, the OpenStack Foundation, where they can learn from other people's experiences, learn from other customers and how they're doing things, how they're taking advantage of the infrastructure, how they're taking advantage of OpenStack to deliver their outcomes. The second is that they want something that's proven, something that can continue to scale, not just from 1,000 virtual machines, but potentially to 10,000 virtual machines, and then back down to 1,000 virtual machines, simply, easily, and efficiently. That self-serving nature of the public cloud is something that customers are demanding in a private enterprise environment today. And OpenStack has that for them. The next one is velocity through innovation. Our customers have been asking us for rapid prototypes, access to new technologies, access to new features and functionalities. And through the Dell EMC and Red Hat partnership, we're making sure that those community projects that are part of OpenStack are able to be included and incorporated in any packages and any distribution of OpenStack that we publish, and where we find that those community projects will add value to our customers. One of our first joint customers in Australia was the NCI. NCI is the National Computational Infrastructure. It is known as Australia's peak supercomputing facility. It's based in Canberra on campus at the Australian National University, and it has one of the fastest supercomputers in the world. But one of the issues that they had was that researchers who needed to be able to spin up and spin down their development environments had to wait for the IT administrators to have free time available. And by having free time available, that really meant that the IT administrators needed to take their time away from other things, such as deploying new technologies, and instead focus on very menial tasks, like turning on a VM, setting up the environment for the user. And they felt that this was a distraction. So one of the other business critical needs that they had was that they critically needed a platform that was both converged for high-performance computing, these large scientific simulations, as well as big data and analytics, things like Hadoop and Spark, all on the one platform where a researcher could choose what tools and data sets they needed based on their workload. And so by partnering with Dell EMC and Red Hat, the NCI took Dell EMC's validated solution for Red Hat OpenStack, and using our PowerEdge technology and Dell networking, they deployed a 2,400 core high-performance computing cloud, which was connected with quite a unique technology, which is called InfiniBand. And that meant that all the nodes could speak to each other at about 56 gigabit per second, move data around, move terabytes of data around the environment within a split second, so that researchers could scale their data across thousands of cores or across dozens of cores, do in-memory computing at the drop of the hat, and move all of this data around the system to enable collaboration, be it satellite imagery coming off of a satellite in real time and streaming onto the environment, or be it databases hosted that they were trying to do joint development with other researchers from around the globe. But by choosing the Dell EMC validated solution with Red Hat OpenStack, we were able to predict what the performance was going to be, how it would scale, and we're also able to set up a proof of concept to demonstrate how the functionality and usability of OpenStack, because it was quite an emerging technology at the time. And so we've also taken that success to Monash University. Monash University is a very innovative university in Australia, world-renowned for being a top research university as well as a leading teaching and learning university. But Monash University had a very similar issue that they were trying to solve, and that was that they serviced hundreds of researchers on a daily basis who needed access to instrumentation, scientific instrumentation across the campus. They needed access to data sets that may have been distributed globally, and they also needed access to high-performance computing infrastructure that they could turn into a giant calculator to solve these complex equations with all the data that they had access to. And one of the issues that they had with their current environment was that researchers had to wait in a queue. Using a scheduler, they had to wait in a queue to get access to resources. And this was slowing down innovation. It was stopping their researchers from able to undertake their work, complete and publish their papers, or potentially find cures for diseases like Alzheimer's disease and cancer and chronic illnesses, which was really key to Monash University and their focus on life science research. So by building an OpenStack cloud platform that was able to provide these on-demand tool sets, this platform as a service and software as a service approach, researchers and the IT administrators were able to focus on what they felt was within their best function. Researchers were immediately able to spin up environments with the tool sets that they requested through a dashboard, be it Hadoop, be it a data analytics platform, and say that they needed access to 5 petabytes, up to 5 petabytes of Ceph object storage that we deployed using Dell PowerEdge compute servers, standard commodity servers, and Red Hat Ceph storage. 5 petabytes of Ceph object storage that researchers had access to, a massive data pool of data coming off of instruments from not just around the campus, from other research institutes around the world, where they could access the data through the dashboard, access the tools and the compute environment, and spin it up. And as they were taking their development approach to their research and their product development, and they needed more resources, more infrastructure, more compute, more memory, more RAM, more storage, more disk space, they were able to scale this on demand themselves without having to submit a ticket. I hate request tickets through support tickets. Everybody hates support tickets. You don't want to submit a ticket and say to your IT administrator, hey, can you give me an extra 4 cores, please? Can you give me some more memory on this virtual machine? And then get an out-of-office bounce and say, hi, I'm on vacation in the Bahamas while you're sitting at your desk waiting for me. I'll be back from the Bahamas in about 3 weeks. Until then, good luck. So now these researchers are able to do this themselves whenever they want, however they want, within a defined budget that the university allocate for them on that research infrastructure. One of the key findings that the IT department found was that by using Dell PowerEdge servers and Red Hat Ceph, they were actually found a cost saving of 75% cost efficiency versus other proprietary storage platforms by going with an open source enterprise platform like Red Hat Ceph. And that was a key saving for them as well, because now they're able to invest in more IT administrators to continue to build and scale not only this environment, but other environments within the university, but they could also invest in more researchers, more software developers, more IT administrators to focus on what their core business goals were, and that is research and innovation. One of the great examples of how researchers at Monash University are actually using this infrastructure is Dr. Grace Rumantir. Dr. Grace Rumantir is actually working with ANZ Bank, a very large bank in Australia. We all know ANZ. Working with ANZ Bank on analysing and doing data analysis on secure FPOS data. So through the Monash University HPC cloud, they were able to spin up on-demand, secure and encrypted environments, move the encrypted FPOS data into the environment, and then do in-memory computing in real time on the FPOS data to start to understand marketing trends, consumer trends, and then work with ANZ Bank to help them to improve their quality of customer service and their consumer experience for their customers. And that was a key thing, that because the researchers had access to all of this data and had been set up to support these secure environments, the researchers didn't have to wait. There was no delay in the project, and ANZ Bank and Monash were able to collaborate on quite innovative projects. And then Dell EMC, we actually see real business outcomes and huge impact from our own OpenStack environment in our innovation lab. And so at Dell EMC in Austin, where one of our headquarters is, we actually have our own IT innovation lab, which has its own private cloud environment. And this private cloud environment is built entirely on Dell PowerEdge technology, Dell networking, and Red Hat Enterprise Linux OpenStack. And we partnered with Red Hat for the sole purpose that we understood that they had highest quality support, that OpenStack was something that had been used by our customers in Australia to deliver on-demand, seamless access to infrastructure so that they could do product innovation, product development, without having to rely on the IT department to always be available and always be online. And for Dell, we're focusing this innovation lab on not only our customer-developed products and our consumer business, but we're also using this innovation lab as a way to prototype next-generation IT infrastructure and IT software before we deploy them within our own business. Good examples are that the IT innovation team are able to spin up these little labs and these little virtual machines where they can deploy test software, and they can ask a select group of users within Dell's 140,000 people sales force if they would like to participate in having early access to technology, trialing technology, so that they can test it in the field based on demographics of certain users in certain geographies with certain job types, certain patterns, certain behaviours in how they access infrastructure today, how they access software today, how they access their data today, all in a way to try new things to keep us ahead of the game and help us to deliver a better outcome for our customers in the field and also deliver a better outcome for our customers at a product level. We found that by building this private cloud infrastructure, it allowed our IT department to spend more time on less administravia, I think the term is, less administrative type of tasks, constantly spinning up VMs and then resizing VMs and turning off VMs and turning them back on again. Instead, we gave the power to the innovators in the IT Innovation Lab. We entrusted them and we empowered them to build and maintain their own destiny using the OpenStack platform. Another thing was that because we were able to give this power to the users, the actual ramp time from coming up with an idea for a project, setting up a proof of concept, and then giving access to that proof of concept to partners, collaborators, and other colleagues was reduced by 100%. It was almost immediate compared to the potential weeks that would take place when people would have to go on leave, when people were busy, when people had their time consumed by other projects. Instead, the IT innovation staff, the software developers, were able to access this infrastructure based on their own demands without having to wait, apart from the automated tasks in the background that would take care of provisioning for them. For us, this has been a tremendous success. As I said, not only have we found that we've been able to accelerate our product development for a consumer level, but even I, in the field, as somebody that speaks to clients on an everyday basis, even proof of concepts that were spun up in the innovation lab on how we do things like collaboration tools. Those proof of concepts I've been given access to so that I can collaborate with my team right across APJ, my colleagues in China, my colleagues in Japan, Singapore, India, Australia. We can all collaborate based on the proof of concept set up in the innovation lab. Had I had to have waited another year for these proof of concepts to come to market, I probably would have been a little frustrated. So I'm very grateful to this type of acceleration of technology that we're seeing. We're also committing, we've committed to this accelerating our partnership and our promises. Over a year ago today at the Red Hat Summit 2015 in North America, we made a commitment to reduce complexity and increase simplicity in our partnership and the tools and the fruits of our partnership. And we also made a commitment to keeping OpenStack open. So, in that year, what have we accomplished? Well, first of all, we've integrated Kilo and Liberty into engineered systems within Dell EMC. That means more flexibility, better sizing, so that customers looking for that t-shirt size approach, small, medium, large, are able to choose what type of infrastructure they're looking for, the types of VMs, the size of the workloads, and we're able to size up infrastructure based on a workload requirement for our customers. It also means that with Ceph, we've fully integrated that into our platform as well. Using Red Hat Ceph storage, fully integrated into the Dell platform and the Dell management tools for OpenStack, customers will be able to deploy not only the Red Hat OpenStack cloud environment on Dell PowerEdge technology and Dell networking technology, but Ceph as a storage platform fully integrated into that package as well. Because it's an engineered system, it will be available as both a blueprint, so that you can take that blueprint, procure the technologies from Dell EMC and Red Hat, and build it yourself, or it can leave the factory as an engineered, tuned system, so that you don't have to worry about that. And we're committed to a partnership with Intel and Red Hat at the 2015 Summit. And so far, we've made huge contributions to those upstream development of OpenStack, and that's been done, and I just wanted to add that, that's been done in a partnership with both not only Dell EMC and Red Hat, but also with Intel as well. And Project Redfish, making sure that we've got a hyperscale architecture built for, those top 20 hyperscalers at the rack scale, scalable from rack to rack to rack, hundreds of racks, that's also accessible and manageable, but usable for consumers who are just deploying just a few servers, and that it's an open standards approach. And as I said earlier, with OpenShift on OpenStack, we're the first OpenStack solution. Dell EMC and Red Hat have the first OpenStack solution that has OpenShift. That is a full containerized platform. That means that once it's more of a build once, deploy anywhere approach. This is that perfect approach to DevOps. No longer will you have to continuously develop, continuously maintain different platforms for different environments, but build once, deploy everywhere, all built into the one infrastructure with Dell EMC and Red Hat OpenStack. And as I said, focusing for us, the next step will be on enabling what we're calling these blueprints or validated solutions. These will be scripts and recipes, if you think of it, that will provide predictable, known, and scalable performance on validated hardware and validated software with Dell EMC and Red Hat, be it Dell EMC server, network, storage technologies, and Red Hat OpenStack or Red Hat Ceph storage, validated, pre-tested in our labs in Austin for both performance, capacity, scalability, and then built into a white paper or a blueprint so that you can understand it and build it yourself. And for customers that are looking for more of an appliance approach, taking that exact same model, those exact same blueprints, but making sure that we partner to deliver that in your data center and effectively hand the keys to you. Think of it as that build versus buy discussion that we talk about. You can either go off and you can either build your own car, or we can deliver a Ferrari for you with the keys, all tuned, straight out the factory, fully serviced, fully maintained, and we'll look after it with you. And that's one of our key commitments. So the journey continues for us. In 2016, it was more OpenShift, cloud forms, new architectures, new designs, making sure that the new technologies from our new entity with Dell EMC are combined, the new storage portfolios are combined to make sure that they're accessible and usable with OpenStack. But also, we committed on making sure that there was faster development of cloud-native applications, big key with with OpenShift for us. And in 2017, we're focusing on those new workloads, those emerging workloads, more focus on making sure that platform as a service with big data platforms, high-performance computing platforms, analytics platforms, collaboration platforms are all built in to the Red Hat OpenStack and Dell EMC OpenStack architecture. And then also key for us is coexistence between those traditional native cloud and containerized applications, all in the one cloud platform. That's our commitment, and that's how we're going to deliver, and that's why we're going to deliver that for you and the OpenStack and the Red Hat community and the open source community over the next 12 months. So with that, thank you very much.